opera world have gathered for the event of a lifetime. Stars from All My Children, Another World, As the World Turns, The Bold and the Beautiful, Dark Shadows, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, Guiding Light, Loving, One Life to Live, Santa Barbara, Search for Tomorrow, The Young and the Restless. Join us as we celebrate the golden anniversary of daytime drama on 50 Years of Soaps, an all-star celebration featuring unforgettable moments from all your favorite shows.
You ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Here's to us. It's a celebration.
There comes a time in a marriage when husband and wife no longer have anything to say to each other.
Oh, Nancy, that is not true.
You worm! You miserable, slimy worm!
Why do I hate you, Vicky? Let me count the ways.
You ridiculous!
How is she, Jeffrey?
Still fighting everybody and everything.
You must have had some kind of a primitive sort of animal relationship.
Great sex. I'm pregnant.
We're going to have a little Buchanan.
Another Buchanan? I'm coming out of the woods.
That must be Erica now.
Get dressed. You're gonna need all the protection you can get.
I think you need psychological help, Roger. I'm your father, and I want to see that you get it. Here!
What's that?
This is one hungry animal, Mike.
But actually, killing you is one of my recurring dreams.
Learn that when life happens, you must accept it and not wish you could play God. Moments past and moments yet to come.
And now, our first host of the evening. From The Young and the Restless, Peter Bergman. From One Life to Live, Robin Strasser. And from Days of Our Lives, Christian Alfonso.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us on this very special occasion as we honor 50 glorious years of daytime drama. This will truly be a night to remember. We are going to spend the next 2 hours looking back at many of the most romantic, heartwarming, and memorable soap opera scenes of all time.
It all began a half a century ago when a local station in New York City, WABD, decided to attempt a little experiment by giving two popular radio soaps, Big Sister and Aunt Jenny's True Life Stories, a tryout on a brand new medium called television.
The experiment lasted only 3 short weeks, but it signaled the beginning of a new era in broadcast history. The television soap opera had been born.
At first, the shows were known as sob stories, washboard weepers, suffering sagas. But as soap manufacturers emerged as the serial's primary sponsors, the term soap opera became part of our daily vocabulary.
And now, 50 years later, daytime drama is a television institution with a worldwide audience of well over 100 million viewers. Okay.
A lot has changed over the past 5 decades, but one thing has definitely remained the same: the soap opera's fascination with love.
Anyone who has ever watched a soap knows that romance is the foundation of daytime drama. The tender love affairs, the passionate proposals, all of it culminating in the magnificent splendor of a soap opera wedding.
So let's relive some of the greatest storybook romances in the history of daytime drama in our tribute to the super couples of the soaps.
It was when you walked into assembly that I realized, hey, we've got homework to get finished.
Right.
Dirty stinker.
I beg your pardon?
You can kiss like that, and you've been holding out on me.
Basically, she's very shy.
Well, we're just going to have to work on that, aren't we?
Just open your open wide. Ah.
Good. Good.
Oh, that's cheating. Don't answer. This dessert is incredible, Drew. Tell me something, Drew. What made you decide to start cooking anyway?
I think you might have some idea.
You did this for me?
I'd like to think I did it for the both of us.
So, how about a doggy bag?
How about if I throw in the cook, too?
That is a thought. And I like. Very.
Ooh.
Very. Much.
Over get the other side.
I'm on my way.
Don't you realize that if Jack were in my arms, the road to Brooke would have been clear for you?
Oh, no, my poor deluded Erica, no, I don't want Brooke.
Of course you want Brooke. You've always been in love with Brooke. She's the only woman you ever loved.
She's the only woman I ever used to love.
Used to.
Yes, once upon a time in a land far away somewhere, I used to love her, yes, but no, I'm interested in someone else now.
Who?
Someone who's far better suited for me. A woman who's fiery and unprincipled and just as devious as I am.
And who is this poor, unsuspecting wretch?
You, my dear.
Hey, wait a minute. I forgot what I asked you to go to dinner with me for.
What?
Will you marry me?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, good. Oh. Oh, good.
Oh, yes. Good night. Good night.
One more treasure. The map says we are here.
X marks the spot right over there.
It's over by that tree. X marks the spot.
I want you to be my wife.
You. What is all this? What's all this talk about marriage and weddings?
I'm definitely in the mood for it. However, I will propose it to you on one condition.
Typical.
That we elope. That we go off and do it and nobody know anything about it until the deed is done.
I'll think about it.
Oh.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here together in the sight of God and in the face of this company to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony.
Steve, my heart is so full of love for you. We have been through so much to be together. But we never stop loving each other. We never stop believing in each other. Your love gives me strength and hope. And now with the people that we love all around us, I take you as my husband. I will always love you.
Hope, I know it's taken us a long time to get here. You know how hard it is for me to tell people how I feel about them, especially the people I care about. But today, in front of all these people, I have no problem telling you that I love you. Because I want you to know that. And I want them to know, too. I'm going to try my hardest to keep our love alive. Because we've got something very special here. It's worth fighting for. I love you, Hope.
You are the love of my life. My knight in shining armor. I will love, honor, and cherish you as long as we live. My goal will always be to understand you, never to change you. When we are blessed with children, I will love them as much as you, but never more. This is my promise.
I remembered the first time I ever saw you, the first time you ever came into our house. Pretty little girl with a real long blonde braid running down the length of her back. I was 6 years old and I fell in love. And now it's hard for me to remember a time that I didn't love you. It's hard for me to imagine a season without you in it. And I thank God that I don't have to. I love you, Reva.
I, Laura Weber Baldwin,
Take thee, Lucas Lorenzo Spencer,
take thee, Lucas Lorenzo Spencer,
to be my lawful wedded husband,
to be my lawful wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, to love and to cherish until death do us part.
I pronounce that they are husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
soap fan has his or her favorite scene. And you know, the same holds true for the actors who have made these scenes so memorable.
Throughout the evening, we are going to call upon the actors who have brought to life some of soap's most beloved characters and ask them to reveal their favorite moment.
For our first all-star favorite, we spotlight a couple who have shared the days of their lives, both on and off screen.
Well, it took them just so long to get married on their show, so they finally decided to get married in real life.
Please welcome from The Days of Our Lives, Doug and Julie, Bill Hayes and Susan Seaforth Hayes.
Our favorite scene together, well, that's easy.
Yes, it would be the time I married your mother.
No, darling, actually, no, not.
The time that you found out that my real name was not Doug Williams.
No.
The time they set you on fire.
No, definitely not.
Well, what scene would it be?
The time you married me, of course.
Yes, well, we all knew that ahead of time, right?
It was romantic.
Yes,
it was wonderful. We got to use the same vows in the TV ceremony that we had used 2 years before in our own wedding.
So happy 20th anniversary, my love.
Happy 20th.
Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past. The rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth. The time of the singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. Arise, my love, my fair one, and come away.
Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go. Where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God, my God.
Soap opera characters may come and go, but they live forever in our hearts. Tonight, we're going to reunite some of your favorite characters from the past that we've all missed seeing over the years.
Our first reunion features one of the most popular couples of the 1970s, Another World's Steve and Alice. Despite Rachel's best efforts to break them apart, when I played the part, I tried really hard. Vicki Wyndham, she just tried so hard. But the couple remained deeply in love.
Sure, they had their share of problems like any other couple, but when Steve built Alice their dream house, it seems as if they would be in love forever.
Little did she know that she would soon be living there all alone.
I can't let you go like this.
Would you do me a favor? You smile for me? I love you.
I love you.
Now tonight, nearly 20 years later, they are together again. Please welcome back Steve and Alice, George Reinhold, and Jacqueline Courtney.
I wouldn't trade anything in the world, all the money in the world, for what I have here right now with you.
Me too, baby.
returns. A visit with the first families of daytime drama, featuring a special tribute to two of soap's most beloved characters.
50 Years of Soaps, an all-star celebration, sponsored by Tide.
And from Days of Our Lives, Robert Kelker Kelly.
At the core of every great soap opera is a great family. And over the past 50 years, there have been many.
The Bowers, the Hughes, the Hortons, the Brooks, the Martins, the Buchanans. These are the first families of daytime drama.
As with any other family, they have all experienced moments of both joy and sorrow.
But through it all, the good times and the bad, the family survives.
Some soap opera families now span 5 generations. During that time, the hopes and dreams of these long-standing families have mirrored the hopes and dreams of the families watching them at home. Let's take a look.
It's a lovely family, isn't it, Tom?
Think we should quit while we're still ahead?
All grown up. On their own. Marie will be the last to go.
Then you'll have the one thing you've yearned for all our married life.
What's that?
Enough closet room.
Tom, just remember that no matter where you go or what you're doing, there'll be times when you should call your mother and your father.
For better or for worse. And on this promise, all families are built. And when this promise is broken, all families are hurt.
I blame you for not being decent and loyal and loving enough to try to put this family back together again. You think you're holier than he is. Well, I just hope that when you're his age, you're half the man your father is. Because he's a big man, and you're small.
I never really thought Jennifer would choose her career over her baby.
Mom, it's not just a job, just any job. It's one that she's vitally interested in.
More so than in Franny?
Jennifer would never put a job before her child, and she'd never neglect her in any way. She loves her much too much.
I always thought she did.
She does. The problem is she can't understand why she can't have a child and a fulfilling job, too.
Oh, Bob, who ever heard of that?
We're strangers, do you understand that? We've been nothing but strangers for 35 years.
You're my own flesh and blood.
Flesh and blood. Obviously, I'm not enough flesh and blood for you to write a card or a letter or say anything to me at all.
So this is goodbye.
Yes. This is goodbye.
I don't want to be anywhere I'm not wanted.
That's exactly how I felt. My lawyer will contact you. Goodbye.
Hello. Hello. In spite of what you've been through, you look wonderful.
Wonderful. That face is...
You look pretty wonderful, too. Wow.
Dad! Oh, darling, darling.
See? Right there. The family crest, Buchanan.
It's from all 5 of us. Me, Cord, Joey, Jess, and Duke. We had it made for each other. Okay, look. We'll put it on.
We decided to get a real neat present this year. Simba, right?
Mm-hmm. Symbol? Of us.
and family, no matter what happens. I think what we're trying to say, Dad, is
although you're not together, Cord, Kevin, me and Joey, you're a dad. And nothing's ever going to change that. Ever.
First, I'd like to thank my mom for making my father so happy for 50 years. And I'd like to thank my father for being such a perfect person, perfect husband, perfect friend, perfect lawyer, and certainly a perfect dad. I love you, Daddy.
You talk about lucky kids, huh? I'm lucky enough to be able to call this man and this woman Mom and Dad. God bless you.
Days may not be fair always. How about under here, huh? That's when I'll be there always. Not for just an hour. Right. Not for just a day. You know it. Not for just a year. But always. Terrific.
To continue our tribute to soap opera families, we are proud to salute two of the most enduring and endearing matriarchs in soap opera history.
Alice Horton has been the stabilizing force in her family since Days of Our Lives debuted in 1965.
And Nancy Hughes has been adored by her soap opera family since she spoke the opening lines on As the World Turns' first episode in 1956.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Days of Our Lives, Frances Reed, and from As the World Turns, Helen Wagner.
Welcome. I've played Alice Horton for 29 years. So you can, that's survival. So you can understand if I feel that the Horton family is my second family. Last year, we, the Hortons, had a great loss. We lost the patriarch of our family. So we mourn and we miss our good friend and co-worker, MacDonald Carey.
I know how you feel about the loss. The raising of the Hears family with the help of the late Don McLaughlin was the experience of a lifetime. And I was particularly touched by the scene we just saw of Don's and my 50th wedding anniversary, Chris and Nancy. But that was 8 years ago. Now, Nancy is married to Dan. So life goes on, Alice.
Thank you. Don was a darling. And thank you for inviting us here. You know, this is really like a family reunion.
Next, the characters you love to hate, the villains and vixens of soap. Plus, they're back in a Dark Shadows reunion. Please welcome, from All My Children, James Mitchell. From The Bold and the Beautiful, Kimberlyn Brown. And from Days of Our Lives, Marie Sorrell.
One of the essential ingredients of any successful soap opera is a devious villain.
Like us.
Well, now maybe not you. I really believe you've mellowed.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think I'm still pretty evil at heart. Over the years, soap opera villains like us have had to expand their little bag of dirty tricks, and now it includes, blackmail, extortion, and even murder.
In other words, anything we can get away with. Here are some of the best of the worst of daytime's most notorious villains.
Okay. Now, there's just one little matter I've got to get cleaned up before I come back, and you can help me with it.
I can?
That's right.
Well, what is it?
There's one little family I've got to get out of my hair.
You mean the Dale sister?
Vanessa Raven and her husband, who hate my guts, and Meg Harper, who likes me just a little too much.
That's not the way I heard it.
Oh, well, she's a little peeved with me at the present time, but, well, let's not discuss that right now. They're all in my way, Alden. Mostly because they all know too much.
Well, how do you figure you could do anything about it?
You mean, what am I going to do to them?
Yes.
Anything I can get away with.
I think you're off the wall. That's what I think. Marrying a little kid like Tina?
You better watch it. I'm warning you.
Get your hands off me. You're sick, you know that? Go ahead. Just keep it up. And they're going to cart you away.
No, you're wrong there, Bev. It's Vicky Riley who's going to be carted away.
All right, I've heard this time and time again, Margot, and I don't care.
Well, I do care. I'm going to see to it that her little world blows up right in her face. She's going to regret the day she ever messed around with me.
She loves me. She loves me not. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Do you know what I've done?
Oh, my God. I'm buried alive.
Why?
Oh, Mother, why do you ask so many stupid questions? There are so many reasons why. I can't get over this television set. I really can't. I think it is one of the most beautiful sets I've ever seen. And oh, how you have enjoyed it, haven't you, Mother dear? But wouldn't you know that it came from Lauren?
You're going to know what I mean when I say I am cutting you out of the family, that you are no longer a Quartermain. It means I never want to look on your face again. I don't want you at family gatherings. I don't want you around me for holidays. And most of all, I don't want to even have to pretend that I still have a daughter.
Daddy, what's the matter? What is it?
My medication, Tracy. Give me my medication. Oh.
Daddy, you're having a heart attack.
Drawer. Top drawer of my bureau. Buried. Tracy, I need my medication now.
That would help, wouldn't it?
Tracy.
Then you could live long enough to sign the will. Huh, Daddy? Cutting me off from the entire Quartermain fortune. Well, now, gee. That's something I'm going to have to think about, isn't it?
How could you do something so unspeakable?
perfectly vile.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You were going to destroy my father's remains so that when they opened the coffin tomorrow morning, there would be nothing there.
Oh, please.
And then they couldn't do an autopsy, could they?
Vicky, you know, I think you have finally lost your mind.
No.
I mean, really.
That is exactly what you were going to do, isn't it? Admit it. Those are your things, aren't they, Dorian? Aren't they?
Would you stop? I really am sick to death of you. Really.
You are a sick, pathetic excuse for a human being.
Fine. Fine. Goodbye.
No, you're not going anywhere. You are a monster. You killed my father. You are a monster.
Stop it.
I will not.
You're not going to escape me. You understand? There's no place on this earth that you can run that I won't find you. Because this baby that you're carrying is as much mine as my fist or my eyes. It belongs to me and to my body just as much as it belongs to yours. And while someday, maybe I could give you up, I will never surrender my own flesh. Which shouldn't surprise you because I tend to get what I want, don't I? I win, Jenna.
You don't look very well, Stephen.
Shut up, Sergeant!
Oh, should I say, Lieutenant Brady? Of course, your rewards for sending me to my death. You see, you and I care about family, about love, you and I, Roman. Yes. A family like yours. Any man would want a family like yours, a wife like yours. Even I... Don't ever get any of us. Give it up. I'll kill you first. Okay.
Our next all-star favorite features the First Lady of Villainy, the Queen of Mean for more than 30 years.
I think she could have taught us a few things.
Here's the actress who played everyone's favorite bad girl turned good girl, Lisa Mitchell, on As the World Turns, Eileen Colton.
Thank you. Oh, I always loved being the villain. The only thing I didn't like about it was sometimes people would come up to me on the street and hit me because they hated what Lisa had done. Well, despite all of those bumps and bruises, it has been worth it. The nastier the scene, the more I loved it.
Oh, Lisa, I almost forgot. I want to invite you to our wedding. I hope you can come. We're getting married at the most beautiful little church. It's small, but then on the other hand, I'm not planning to invite too many people. Just those people that have known Grant and me over the years.
No, not me, Joyce, not me.
What?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm not coming to your wedding. I wouldn't come to your wedding if you were giving away Robert Redford as a door prize.
Lisa.
I can't imagine why anyone would want to come to see the two if you get married anyway.
Now, that's enough.
I think it's very clever that you are having it in a small little church. It won't look so empty.
Now, that was totally uncalled for.
Grant, it's all right. Really it is, but I think perhaps we should leave soon. I'm getting a headache, I think.
I don't believe for a minute she has a headache. But if I happen to have caused this headache, I think I'll have my little method patented. I didn't know I had so much power over everyone.
This next demonic duo is like no other in the history of soaps.
Yes, that's because she was a witch, and she turned him into a vampire.
Ooh, Barnabas and Angelique's bizarre love affair made Dark Shadows an overnight sensation. And today, over 2 decades later, it continues to have an enormous cult following.
Don't you mean an occult following, Kimberlyn?
Very funny, Louise. Why don't we just watch the clip?
You are responsible for the wounds in Roxanne's neck opening again. Where's the doll? Where are the pins?
Hidden, Barnabas. Safely hidden.
You must get the doll and you will remove the pins.
So that Roxanne may live?
She must.
Why? Because you love her?
Because she has done nothing wrong.
Why don't you want her to die? Then you can spend eternity together.
No more.
You love her that much? Then her fate lies entirely in your hands.
What must I do?
Come and live with me as man and wife, because that is what we are. And because that is what I want. And if you do refuse...
What then?
Then she will die from your attack.
She will become as I am.
Yes, a vampire. Make up your mind, Barnabas. Now.
And now to prove that true love never dies, here, united in unholy matrimony once again, are Dark Shadows, Barnabas and Angelique, Jonathan Fried and Laura Parker.
Jonathan, you're looking a little long in the tooth.
You know how I love biting humor.
Coming up, a delicious soap opera bride you won't want to miss. And from all my children, Kelly Ripa.
Soap operas are not only popular in this country, but throughout the world.
Today, The Bold and the Beautiful airs in 79 countries. The Germans love Their Guiding Light, and the Italians can't seem to get enough of All My Children and General Hospital.
In addition to German and Italian, the soap operas have been dubbed into a number of other languages, including Mandarin Chinese.
Adding to daytime's international flavor, the soaps have taken their storylines to faraway places like Europe, Asia, and the Caribbean.
So get ready for a whirlwind look at soap operas around the world.
Sì? Agente Norris, signor Spencer. Vorrei parlare con una delle sue impiegate, la signora Laura Baldwin.
Beh, non adesso. Ora sto lavorando, ma comunque se può aspettare quando c'è l'intervallo, tra 15 minuti circa.
Senta, le posso offrire qualcosa? Un drink o qualcos'altro? Un caffè. Un caffè? Offri al signore del caffè, per favore.
Rick ist verrückt auf Pink. Rick muss verrückt sein, wenn glaubt, den Abend mit dir und Mindy in ein und denselben Raum verbringen zu können. Wer sagt, dass Mindy hier sein wird? Roxy, ihr Großvater gibt die Party, nicht wahr? Dann ist ihr Vater auch da.
你到底是干怎样的？
我做你跟卡洛琳结婚。
我要看卡洛琳那边对这个婚姻到底有什么反应？
就连阮爸爸伊个啊，你是我心中上爱人，有迄个爱情存在啊。Questa promette di essere una serata fantastica.
With Santa Barbara established as an international hit, its leading man is now recognized virtually everywhere he goes, even Russia's Red Square.
Ladies and gentlemen, A. Martinez.
Thank you. Thank you. Playing Cruz Castillo on Santa Barbara was a great pleasure for me. It was an honor, really. He was like a friend. This scene is from a memorial service for his beloved Eden, whom he believed at the time had died. His eulogy reminded me that if we are lucky enough to have blessings in our lives, it's important not to take them for granted. Cruz.
I thought the next time I would be in a chapel would be at my wedding. When you think about it, there isn't much that holds us in place. Like the stars are held in the sky by these huge, unconnected forces. We're small, and love, for all the power it has over our lives, it just isn't as strong a force as gravity. We need to hold on to the people we love. We need to tell them every day that we love them and remember that every minute we get to spend with them is an incredibly precious thing that we have won in the face of great odds. What can you say? Everyone she ever touched is going to miss her terribly.
One of the red-hot couples of the 1970s. Their love affair on The Young and the Restless symbolized the new sexual freedom of that era.
Thank you.
For what?
Oh, your patience. Allowing me to do this my way.
You know you can be very persuasive. Sometimes. And if you put your mind to it, you could probably talk me into just about anything.
Anything?
Mm-hmm. Anything.
Anything?
You know the best part of fighting with you?
What's that?
The fun of making up.
It's been 14 long years since their characters steamed up the screen together. Please welcome back Lance and Laurie, John McCook, and Jamie Lynn Bauer.
Oh, my. We had some pretty wonderful times back there, if you know what I mean.
Well, you look like you've still got it.
Well, thank you. So do you. You certainly had it back then, I can tell you that. Whoa.
In the pool, in front of the fireplace, and as I recall, at 30,000 feet in your private jet.
Did we even own a bed?
We weren't being paid, darling, to sleep.
That's true.
Wait, can you wait?
Ladies and gentlemen, from Guiding Light, Frank DeCopolis, and from One Life to Live, Robert S. Wood.
The most celebrated and eagerly anticipated event in the history of soap operas has been the wedding. And at the center of every wedding is a beautiful bride, a woman who carries her own story to the altar.
So now, in honor of soap opera brides everywhere, here in their original wedding gowns are some of the most dazzling brides in soap opera history. Loving's Ava, Lisa Peluso.
One Life to Live's Cassie, Laura Bonarigo.
All My Children's Maria, Eva LaRue.
As the World Turns, Julie, Susan Marie Snyder. The Young and the Restless Drusilla, Victoria Rowell. Days of Our Lives, Jennifer, Melissa Reeves. General Hospital's Tiffany, Sharon Wyatt. Another World's Paulina, Judy Evans Luciano. The Guiding Light, Blake, Elizabeth Kiefer. And the Bold and Beautiful's Taylor, Hunter Tylo. Beautiful reasons why everyone loves a soap opera wedding.
Still to come, the birth of daytime drama and some of soap's outrageous moments. And the Restless, Jess Walton.
Without them, there would be no great romances to touch our hearts, no conniving villains to despise, no courageous heroes to root for, and no Friday cliffhangers to keep us on the edge of our seats.
They are the creators, those wildly imaginative men and women whose fertile minds have conjured up the very best in daytime drama.
Creators like Frank and Doris Hersley of General Hospital, Roy Windsor, who gave us Search for Tomorrow, Love of Life, and The Secret Storm, Douglas Marland of Loving, Bridget and Jerome Dobson, the creators of Santa Barbara.
It may seem hard to believe, but 3 televisionaries created 9 of the 10 soap operas currently on the air and hold a special place in the history of daytime drama. They are Agnes Nixon, Bill Bell, and Erna Phillips.
The late Erna Phillips is regarded as the queen of soaps. In 1930, she created radio's first soap opera, Painted Dreams, and changed the face of daytime programming forever.
It was the first of many Erna Phillips creations, the most successful of which was The Guiding Light. The show proved so popular that it eventually made the transition to television and became the longest-running show of all time. The rest is soap opera history.
Erna went on to create As the World Turns, Another World, and along with her longtime friend and director Ted Corday, The Days of Our Lives. What made Erna's show so unique and successful was her emphasis on real-life family drama.
Erna also took viewers to professional settings, like courtrooms.
Oh, he said that she was a cheap tramp and an easy pickup.
You mean that Al James said Penny Hughes was immoral?
Yes.
She introduced us to
Blood
doctors and their daily struggles.
If it drops any lower, be prepared to start shock therapy.
Whether at home or in the workplace, Erna's shows all had one thing in common, their rich characterizations.
So many months to go. Oh, Bruce. Could have been so different.
As far as I'm concerned, as a writer, there isn't a black or a white or a square or a bad joke. People are people. They're motivated. We're all grays None of us are either white or black or bad or good. And I think either they're writers or they've lost perspective. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the way I construct the show.
Agnes Nixon, a protege of Erna Phillips, was responsible for the next great soap opera revolution. She was the first to integrate the previously all-white soaps.
Tell him. Jenny, I can't help it. Now, it is out of my hands. It might not be. Look, Jesse should know about the baby. He should be able to share the birth with you and take care of it with you. Jenny, I have made my decision, and I'm going to stick by it. Is it your decision or is it your parents', Angie? If they live thousands of miles away, would you still be keeping this from Jesse, huh?
Nixon's shows One Life to Live, All My Children, and Loving were the first to address the socially relevant issues of the day, like the struggles of Vietnam veterans.
Hey, buddy. Glad you took my advice and came to see our memorial. You can't read the names from there. You're one of the lucky ones. You made it back. My name's in there. It's carved in granite along with the rest of the dead and the missing. Go ahead. Go find it. You know it's there. You remember the day I got wasted, don't you? What's the matter? You afraid, Cage? No, I'm not afraid. Why should I be afraid? No.
Mike,
No,
Mike, what is it? What's
I can't go
wrong?
up there. I can't go up.
I hope I made a contribution in educating as well as entertaining, or informing. Perhaps educated is too lofty a word, but I think I have brought public issues, social relevance to our shows, and I would hope that the greatest sort of information or education that I might have wrought is that people will accept other people, no matter how different they are.
Bill Bell, another Erna Phillips protege, continued to focus the soaps on important social issues with his first creation, The Young and the Restless. In this 1975 scene from the show, Bell introduced daytime's first storyline about breast cancer.
My God.
Mother, listen to me. You're a strong, healthy woman, and you're going to be just fine. I mean, you'll be the same woman you've always been, and you'll be able to do all the things you've ever done. You've just got to believe that this is not going to destroy your life. It's going to save it.
Well, we did Jennifer Brooks' mastectomy story in 1975. The show had been on the air 2 years, and we did it for several reasons. One, there was a need to disseminate information about this, as there was before then, and there has been since then, about breast cancer and that problem. And so we did it with Jennifer, and we did it, I was very proud of the way we handled it. And Agnes Nixon has done this before, and with great impact, and I felt we did too. The response is always enormous from an audience. They're grateful. You remind them when they need to be reminded.
Another of Bell's trademarks was his introduction of glitz and glamour to the soap opera scene, as seen in his latest creation, The Bold and the Beautiful.
Today, Bell's soap operas are a family affair with his wife and co-creator Lee Phillip Bell at his side and the rest of his family all part of the Bell team.
In the 38 years I've been doing serials, not a day has gone by when at least one of my shows hasn't been on the air. In about 13 of those years, 2 of the shows have been on the air. We've never missed a day, unless it was a preemption.
Erna Phillips, Agnes Nixon, and Bill Bell. They are the true giants of daytime drama.
We are fortunate to have one of these soap opera great giants with us today.
He's been writing, creating, and producing daytime dramas for nearly 4 decades. It is my extreme privilege to introduce the man who gave the world The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful, my boss, Bill Bell.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
doing it again. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. I would also like to take this opportunity to recognize my partner, both at home and at the job, on the job. My wife, Lee Phillip Bell, who created the shows with me, and we work together, and we're married 40 years in another month. So I've said it all. Good.
Coming up next, a lighthearted look at soap opera bloopers. Kanakarides, and from The Young and the Restless, Christoph St. John.
When you're doing a show 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, things don't always go as planned.
That's right. Mistakes can and do happen.
Which reminds me of one of the first rules I ever learned as an actor. Try never to do a scene with children, animals, or boom mics.
But accidentally seeing a microphone in a shot isn't the worst thing that can happen. There are plenty of other mishaps that occur on the set every single day, often with amusing results.
If you can spare a few men, put them at the train station, at the airport, at the bus depot. If you're still in Salem, we got it. Hold on a second.
This happens to me all the time.
Ollie.
No, that's fine. Come on, let's get out of here and I'll show you.
Are we supposed to eat first?
Come on, why waste time?
You said we were going to have dinner.
Okay, a little fornication might help. Fortification might help.
If you knew you were out of pills, why didn't you refill your subscription? Subscription?
Take a chance. I will do away with her. Now.
It's quite satisfactory.
Fine.
I prepared a list of things that I'll need. There's a chemical supply house in Bangor. They'll have all these things really well cut to go.
What are you doing?
Don't you try to stop me.
Stop you from what?
That is that.
That's what? What are you doing?
The wrong thing. I was supposed to put it in my pocket.
If he ever starts blabbing the truth about Tolliver, our name is going to move right to the top of Scorpio's Who Killed Susan Baldwin list.
An extremely capable young woman.
Well, yes, she is, but Dr. Bauer's her husband. How impartial can she be?
Maureen has got balls.
I'll do one more time.
Our next all-star favorite features an actress who certainly knows how to deliver an award-winning performance.
On Guiding Light, she created the role of Riva, a feisty character who wore her heart on her sleeve.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Zimmer.
Thank you. When I think about the years that I spent playing Riva, there's a lot of things that come to mind, but I think there's probably two in particular, one of which would be the great fortune that I had in having the most wonderful co-star I could have worked with, and a very good friend of mine, Robert Newman. Thank you. The second would have to be what they refer to as the fountain scene. Whenever I go on fan gatherings, etc., people always come up and want to talk about the fountain scene. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's a little something that happened while we were filming this fountain scene. The art decorator, who was a very good friend of mine, decided to add real goldfish in the fountain. And I finished this very dramatic scene. I went to sit down in the fountain because that was the only place to sit, and I ended up sitting on one of the fish. You won't see that, but believe me, it was a treat.
Isn't that right, Joshua? Is that what you want? Well, go on. You go on and call everybody out here. Get them all out here. You have them come out and watch me. The more the merrier. Oh, what's wrong, Joshua?
Put your clothes on and get the hell out of here.
Why, Joshua? Isn't this fun? Don't you enjoy this? You look at me like I'm naked all the time. Like I don't have a heart or a brain. Oh. Come on, Joshua. Here it is. You take a look. You take a good look. Oh.
When we return, how the soaps deal with society's toughest issues. Please welcome, from Loving, Debbie Morgan, and from The Young and the Restless, J. Eddie Peck.
Well, over the years, daytime drama has been more than mere fantasy and escapism. It has also served to create an awareness of society's most changing problems.
From Bill Bauer's struggle with alcoholism on Guiding Light to Cindy Parker's battle with AIDS on All My Children, the soaps have not been afraid to tackle the toughest social issues.
Well, in doing this, the soaps have boldly accepted a greater responsibility to educate, to enlighten, as well as to entertain us.
Daytime drama has devoted countless hours of programming to the most pressing and often controversial issues of the day. As these next scenes demonstrate, when it comes to social relevance, the soap opera has no peer.
Do you ever know what it feels like to feel shame? Well, I hope you never do. Well, I passed a lot of bars this afternoon. I went into one. I walked out. I don't know if I could do it again. Look, do you mind if I stay here with you?
You were drunk. You almost died. Nobody throws a party the next day to celebrate that.
Well, you know what I do? So get over it.
I tried to get over it. Oh, I tried. I even believed you when you said you stopped drinking.
I stopped drinking. I said I stopped over drinking. There's a difference. I can't have a drink.
Alicia, let Rachel say what she needs to.
Shove it.
Those are the rules.
I'm making up my own rules. Not now. Not this time. This is my turn. You've hurt me, and you've hurt me badly. My friend wouldn't have jeopardized my company or the station. And my friend wouldn't have broken a contract with an old friend just for a few moments of publicity. That's not my friend. That's someone under the influence of the bottle. And I want the bottle gone. That's why I'm here. I need my friend back.
Roger, I did care about you. I wouldn't have married you if I didn't.
I'm not going to put up with any more of this, Holly.
Roger, please don't, please. No.
leave you alone. Come on. Come on.
No, please don't. No, Roger, come on. You don't. No, Roger, please. Come on. Come on.
Is Roger going to get away with this? It's up to you.
Up to me.
Yes. Before now, it was impossible for a wife to charge her husband with rape, but now times have changed.
Oh. Well, I hadn't thought about that.
Sheila and I want to be sure to maintain continuity of evidence. It's called the chain of evidence in case you do decide to press charges. Sheila and I can swear that we've seen all these garments come off you, and that keeps the chain of evidence intact.
I hit him with my ring, I think. How you doing? You holding up okay?
I'm okay. Are you on the pill? If you're concerned about pregnancy, I can prescribe the morning after pill. That will eliminate any chance of your having conceived. Do you want that?
Yeah, I want that.
I've wanted to tell you for a long time. I haven't told anyone else in Oakdale that I'm gay except you.
Do you live together?
Yeah. And we believe in fidelity and mutual support just like anyone else in that kind of relationship does.
Well, if it's important to you, you know, I'm sure he's very nice. He's probably very special.
But please don't let this change anything between us.
Oh, come on, Hank. I mean, let's be honest with each other. I mean, it changes everything. Oh, God.
Did you find something? Yes, you do have a lump in your right breast. Oh, God. Well, it feels very small, and you're very good to examine yourself so carefully. A lot of women don't know that it makes a difference. I can't tell if it's a tumor yet. I mean, it could be a cyst, it could be an enlarged lymph node, it could be any number of things. That's why we're going to do a mammogram. Right now? Well, yes. Is that all right with you?
Yes, of course. Take your right hand, put it on the bar. Okay. Move in a little bit closer. Now you're going to feel a little bit of pressure, but it's not going to hurt. Okay? Yeah. No pain. There you go. All right, now don't breathe and don't move. Breathe.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, get the results now? Oh, no, not today. It's too late. And I want another doctor to look at them with me, but it won't be long.
This is so unfair. I mean, it only happened once. I didn't even mean for it to happen. I didn't even like it.
Victoria, I cannot overemphasize the importance of protecting yourself sexually. I think this experience has shown you that HIV is something we all have to live with. If you can't be abstinent, be careful. Insist on using a condom. And most importantly, make these decisions before you find yourself in a situation you can't get out of. It's a matter of life and death, Victoria. I can't put it any plainer than that. Having unprotected sex with the wrong person can kill you.
Hello, Michael. Joseph. Hello, Heather. Alice.
My name is Andrew, and I have brought you a brother.
And now it's time for another all-star favorite. You know her as the heart and the soul of the Corey family.
She's played the character of Rachel on Another World since 1972. Ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Wyndham.
As some of you know, Rachel Corey started out as a villain, but it was the love of a good man, Mackenzie Corey, that turned her life around. It was a sad time when Rachel's husband died. It was an even sadder time for me. I lost my dear friend, Douglas Watson.
Mac, I have something to tell you. I can't say goodbye. I think I'm supposed to, but I can't do it. I'm not sure I'm up to it, but I'll work at it. And that's how I'll remember you. And our grandchildren and their children, they'll know who you are and what you stood for. You'll be in their lives. I'll see that. You're a part of me. You're part of who I am. I will never love anyone as much as I loved you.
Up next, Courtroom Confessions, characters that return from the dead. They're the incredible plot twists of daytime drama. Hospital, Anthony Geary, and from The Young and the Restless, Melody Thomas Scott.
One of the best things about soap operas is that they're so unpredictable. Just when you think you've got a storyline figured out, something happens to change everything.
A character returns from the dead. A witness in a courtroom trial makes a startling revelation. A wedding is interrupted just before the I do's. I really hate that, don't you?
Oh, awful.
These are the turning points, the pivotal, dramatic moments that make soap operas so unique and so entertaining.
Here now are some examples of why daytime drama makes for such compelling television.
Jenny! Look at me! I gotta talk to Jenny. Everything, go on! Luckily, I have waited too long for this. Are you? Come here.
Fine, you just say what you have to say, Greg.
Your letter, Jenny. The letter that you wrote me. Telling me how you feel, Jenny. I didn't get that letter until today.
What?
They kept it from me. Jenny. Jenny, look at me. Now that I've read the letter, and now that I know how you feel, you have to know that I feel exactly the same way. I never stopped loving you.
I need to talk to Rod for a minute, please. I'm begging you.
No, I'm not going anywhere until somebody tells me what's going on here. What is he talking about?
That you're adopted, Lily. Lucinda's not your mother.
No.
She's not your natural mother.
No, it's crazy because she would have told me something like that.
She didn't tell you because she didn't want to hurt you.
You're telling me my mother knew about this all these years and she never told me why? Why would she do that to me, Iva?
Answer her, Iva. Tell her the rest.
Just stay out of this. Just stay
Will you
out
just
of
let her know? She's gonna find out from somebody. Just...
For God's sakes, find out what? Will you just stop talking like I'm not in the room? I am here.
I'm your mother, Lily.
Your Honor, if you will allow me to continue, you will see that I am moving into a new line of questioning.
Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question.
I'll repeat it, Miss Slater. What happened when you dropped the gun?
My father grabbed me.
Then what?
And then he threw me on the bed, and he was grabbing at me.
Yeah, what happened then? What happened then, Miss Slater? Isn't that when you supposedly saw a shadow in the hall?
Yes.
Yeah, what was your father doing then? I asked you what your father was doing then.
All right, you want to know all the filthy details?
Yes, Miss Slater.
He was trying to take off my nightgown because he was trying to raise his own daughter. All right,
I have to tell you something.
Oh, my goodness.
You found out your name, who you are, where you're from.
You did?
Look, you live in Beverly Hills in a beautiful home with a family. Isn't that wonderful news?
No, you're my friends. I have no other place.
There's a family waiting for you. I'm sure they're very worried.
You're going to make me go back, aren't you?
Yes. Yes, we are going to make you go back. Because that's where you belong.
Come with me. Adam, come with me. Please. Adam.
You'll see me again. I promise.
Do you keep your promises?
You know me better than to ask me that.
What the hell?
You stay away from me! You are dead. I was at your funeral. You are dead!
I seem dead to you, Jack. Does it appear that I'm moldering in the grave?
There was a car crash. You were in it.
Alive and well. And I'm back.
God, Josh, look! The bridge is out. Reba, stop! Reba! Need help. Find somebody. Make a call. Get some help.
Put up this door, Monica, I'm gonna kick it down.
How could I have been so stupid? How could I have married you?
How could I have been so stupid? You haven't even fulfilled any of the duties of a husband.
I paid for you, lady. I paid for everything. I paid for the clothes on your back. I paid for this house, everything.
And you're going to keep on paying, you know. Even after this divorce is final. You're going to pay right off, down to the shirt off your back.
You want the shirt on my back, lady? You can have it.
What are you doing?
What the hell does it look like?
You're crazy.
You want the shirt, baby? Here, you got the shirt.
Here. Oh.
What else you want from me, Monica? What else?
Nothing.
What else you want from me, Monica?
Nothing. If you tell anyone about this, I'll kill you.
Our next all-star favorite features an actress who I know is very near and dear to your heart, Tony.
She sure is. Ever since I did my first General Hospital scene back in 1978, with her, She's been more than a sister to me. Barbara Jean. Jacqueline Zeman.
Tony, and I love you too, Lucas Lorenzo.
Well, I love playing the role of Bobby, Spencer, Brock, Meyer, Jones. You know, Bobby just might be an ordinary girl from little old Elm Street, but she never let anyone get the best of her.
Save it, Bobby, because I don't believe it. I learned my lesson. I will never be fooled by someone like you again.
Like me? What do you know about anybody like me? Just because I grew up on Elm Street and I didn't have life handed to me on a silver platter, don't you dare look down on me!
Bobby, I'm not talking about your background. I'm talking about what you are right now. You're a liar and you're a cheat, and that has nothing to do with
That has everything to do with it! You don't know! You didn't live through it! I have had to fight and scratch for every crumb I've ever gotten out of life. And it's people like you and the Webbers who grew up in fancy homes with fancy backgrounds. You don't know what that's like, and you never will. I hate all of you. You make me sick.
You like that? Our next reunion features two people who worked together closely for 35 years.
As best friends on Search for Tomorrow, they were virtually inseparable until the show went off the air in 1986. Here they are in the very last scene of the show's final episode.
You okay, pal?
Just a little overwhelmed. Hey, buddy, thanks.
For what?
For so much, I don't know where to start. How about for standing by me when I was low?
Okay. In 35 years, I wonder how many times we've said that to each other.
I wanted to look at the tree one more time. You know, it really is just like the one in my dream. Now we put the star on top.
What is it, Joe? What is it you're searching for?
Tomorrow. And I can't wait.
Tonight, they are together once more. Please welcome back Joe and Stu, Mary Stewart and Larry Haynes.
Years. Wow. It is a long time to be together.
Mary, how come Joe and Stu never got married?
Married? Stu, how could we get married? You never even kissed me.
Oh. Well, never too late to start. Well, you wanna give it a shot?
Now?
Why not?
Okay.
Pucker up. God bless.
Love you all.
50 years of soaps, an all-star celebration. Please welcome, from Another World, Linda Gano. From General Hospital, Stuart Damon. And from As the World Turns, Elizabeth Hubbard.
you've seen why soap operas have remained so popular over the past half-century.
The unbridled passion of tempestuous love affairs, the unshakable unity of close-knit families, and the wicked ways of scheming villains.
All brought to life by some of the most outstanding acting talent ever seen in television.
Yeah. And let us not forget the other creative people who have helped make the soap opera what it is today.
The writers, the producers, the directors, and all of the other dedicated men and women who work tirelessly behind the scenes to bring you quality daytime drama each week.
And we especially want to thank the fans. Without your loyalty and support, we wouldn't be here tonight celebrating this golden anniversary.
And if you think the last 50 years was fun and was exciting, stay tuned. There's a lot more to come.
So, we'll see you in the year 2044.
When we celebrate the next 50 years of soaps. Good night, everybody.